go. Kanye West says he's a Nazi. Kanye West says he loves Hitler. Now what, bitch? Kanye West says Hitler was so fresh. That's crazy. So the question is, should Kanye West be banned from X? 3, 2.
I don't think so. My opinion is no, because I really do believe in free speech. And if that's what he wants to put out there, he can put it out there. But I mean, I don't know why you'd want to.
I used to use Twitter and I don't now because it's like not fun. Like it's just hateful and mean.
I don't really use Twitter X. I have an account, but anytime I go there, it's like this weird place that I feel like I'm walking through. On X, it's just like I feel like I have to swim through this crap, you know? And listen, I'm fine with people exercising their free speech, but you should know that there are consequences to everything that you do. I think Kanye should be able to tweet that shit. But if someone walks up and punches you in the face, like I'm not going to feel bad about that. Like when you do shit or say certain things that you are doing on purpose to trigger someone, then don't be surprised when somebody gets triggered.
Elon Musk has shown this pattern of every time he gets in some personal squabble or beef. I'm pretty sure he like shadow banned Grimes a few weeks back because Grimes was saying something. It was something like to that effect.
Dude, Twitter is like high school for Elon. That's what it feels like. Like if someone bullies him, he like, has to block them or shadow ban them or whatever. Like he's still a fucking loser. He's a loser out in the world. He's a loser in the virtual world. He's a fucking loser. And I hope that he goes his ass to Mars so he can be a loser on 2 planets.
And it's funny that you mentioned the Pornhub thing. Some states actually require that you submit your ID, and some people don't want to do that for Pornhub, but I think if
that's an insane thing to require an ID for porn. What the fuck? I mean, obviously they have their age restrictions and kids will lie about it, but I'm not giving you my ID. No way. People don't want their identity connected to the porn they watch. Okay. I don't. It's the Very Sassy Podcast, and I am Sassy, and today I'm watching Jubilee. They dropped their video. It's the Middle Ground Roundtable. It's the political spectrum. So it's a liberal versus a leftist versus a conservative versus MAGA. And one of them, Adam Mockler, who I really like, and I love his YouTube channel. Check it out. You probably already know. And then the leftist is Naima. And I was actually with Naima yesterday doing a debate. And I can't tell you who it was against, but it was a really good one. So, and Naima will be on the podcast in the next few weeks. So come back for that. Hit subscribe. But yeah, so right now they're discussing Kanye's tweets. So that's what we're talking about.
Here we go. Kanye West says he's a Nazi. Kanye West says he loves Hitler. Now what, bitch? Kanye West says Hitler was so fresh. That's crazy. All right. So the question is, should Kanye West be banned from X? 3, 2, 1.
Should Kanye West be banned from X? And I don't think so. My opinion is no. I'm going to go red on this because I really do believe in free speech. And if that's what he wants to put out there, he can put it out there. But I mean, I don't know why you'd want to.
I'm the odd one out.
Wow. It's okay.
I can jump in first.
I do agree with you, but it's okay.
I don't even have a strong opinion on whether he should be banned. I think ultimately it's the decision of the people who own X if they want advertisers on their app or if they want Kanye West glazing Hitler on their app. It's definitely the decision of the people who own X, so Elon Musk. Broadly speaking, the reason I agreed is because there should be slightly stricter, maybe a lot more strict content moderation on Twitter. Twitter, like 4 years ago, was actually not that bad, but it seems like Elon completely removed all of the guardrails of content moderation, and now it literally feels like Nazi Germany when I'm scrolling through Twitter. I don't even follow these right-wing accounts, and right-wing accounts are at the top of my feed, so.
Yeah. I mean, just as a business model, like I used to use Twitter, and I don't now because it's like not fun. Like it's just hateful and mean. And so
it's true. I don't really use Twitter X. I have an account, but anytime I go there, it's like this weird place that I feel like I'm walking through. It's almost like Reddit, but Reddit's not as hateful because you can find your like little communities or whatever. But on X, it's just like I feel like I have to swim through this crap. You know what I mean? It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
It's kind of like, if you want people, like what kind of platform are you trying to create? But at the same time, I do kind of fear censorship. Do I think that Kanye should be censored? Low-key, yeah. He's awful and crazy and needs to be on some kind of meds. But at the same time, again, with this whole slippery slope thing, I'm afraid that, right now, Elon Musk owns Twitter. Twitter could pass on to the hands of other people. And I don't think, corporations, especially social media corporations, have become such a huge platform for so many people to express their views. And I'm afraid that if corporations have Musk owns Twitter, Twitter could pass on to the hands of other people. And I don't think, corporations, especially social media corporations, have become such a huge platform for so many people to express their views. And I'm afraid that if corporations have the power to censor people without that same due process that they would be awarded if they were just saying it in a public space, that it can kind of just hurt our ability to discuss and share our opinions and views.
Can I ask you, would you guys have chosen green if the question was, should Kanye get a 24-hour ban to disincentivize future Nazi behavior? Nope. You still don't think a 24-hour ban?
I would have voted green. I would have done that.
So what's your argument? It's a 24-hour slap on the wrist. It's not going to change anything.
It could disincentivize future behavior.
Not with Kanye. No, that would embolden him.
Yeah.
It's not even about Kanye. It's just about the broader.
So, and exactly to that point, I want to widen it more from this just Kanye. X has a platform has changed significantly. I enjoy the platform more, but I also know that there's a good amount of people that enjoy it less. But there's also a good amount of people that enjoy it more. Those that enjoy it less have the free market opportunity to go to Mastodon or Blue Sky or whatever platform of the month, just like conservatives had done with Gitter, Gab, Parler. I was on all of those for a period of time when those were starting to pop off and then wane. Even now with True Social, there are always the opportunity for alternative platforms that want to be more strict about their content moderation or less strict to certain groups. That's always something that can happen. But I'm starting to get of the opinion that major platforms like X, Instagram, and things of that nature are what's called the new public square. And the public square comes from the idea of that it's the idea of freedom of speech. If somebody's standing in the square of the city and they're holding up a sign and it says something like something crazy, like maybe something that Kanye said, like for instance, free Diddy. Like not something that hateful or violent that he said, but something kind of objectionable. But if let's say somebody's holding up a picket sign in New York in Times Square saying free Diddy, I don't want the police to come over and arrest them for that. Just like I don't want Kanye to be banned off Twitter for saying free Diddy unless it gets to as of now. Now, right now, the public, those platforms aren't really treated like public squares. In my opinion, is that they should. But I also understand that there's a business decision to that. Some places might not want to advertise. So it's a very thin line. I think where we stand right now, and it's actually really hard to find Kanye's tweets, if I'm being honest, because there's numerous search bans on his account. There's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a
shadow
block,
ban.
Not a shadow ban, but also a content warning on his account, because obviously he's saying really objectionable and strange things. I think that's about as much as you need. Now, if he starts saying, we need to kill this person, we need to kill that person, obviously that gets into the
I agree with
realm
that,
where
right.
freedom of speech no longer applies. I think without a shadow of a doubt, that's where we get there.
Me and the
Also,
MAGA
same thing
agree on
as
this one.
With material that is illegal, like CSAM, things of that nature. If somebody starts sharing that, obviously that's what needs to be banned. But I'm starting to get to the opinion, I'm very close to being a free speech absolutist, and where I say people should be able to say what they want to say, including more than likely even on most social media platforms, because they're so.
Listen, I'm fine with people exercising their free speech, but you should know that there are consequences to everything that you do. Because I definitely am basically a free speech absolutist. Like, I think Kanye should be able to tweet that shit. But if someone walks up and punches you in the face, I'm not going to feel bad about that. Like, I know that two wrongs don't make a right or whatever, but when you do shit or say certain things that you are doing on purpose to trigger someone, then don't be surprised when somebody gets triggered.
With our culture now and how we connect, that it's almost like a revocation of civil rights to be banned off of one of them.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm a free speech absolutist, but what I will say is that these companies are private corporations. Yeah. And that's my fear, is that our speech shouldn't be dictated by a private entity. If our speech is going to be dictated by any group, it should be the government or the laws. And my fear is that these companies are acting in their own interest and not the interest of
the distinction, though, is that he was just giving his opinion, like Hitler's so fresh, which is a fucked up opinion. But he didn't say, like, go out and kill Jews. You know what I mean? Like, if he was saying that, it's like, oh, no, take that shit down. That's inciting violence. But for him to say, I am a Nazi, like, he might as well just tweeted, I am an idiot. You know what I mean?
I'm not even trying to take the pro-censorship. I don't think Kanye should be inevitable. banned from Twitter forever. I don't think that that's what should happen, but I think there should be some mechanisms on the app of Twitter to disincentivize some of the behavior I see. And you know what? What you just laid out right now, like a slight shadow ban or content warning, that seems pretty fair. If you're going to de-rank Kanye's stuff and be like, maybe you shouldn't post Nazi propaganda, I think that's fair. I wouldn't call myself a free speech absolutist. I do think that there's a line you can walk. But does it bother you guys when Elon Musk bans people on Twitter for other reasons? Do you guys remember the H-1B visa controversy that happened? Elon Musk was banning accounts that were disagreeing with him.
Yes,
that
he
bothers
did.
you as well?
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's him shutting down someone's free speech. He's a fucking hypocrite. He is a fucking hypocrite. Rules apply to everyone but him kind of thing. It also shows what a butt-hurt titty baby he is.
And yes, it does bother me as well. And the funny thing is that as the more MAGA person, that was, and I'm not going to say that I was on board with that, but it was more people that were in my sect of thought that were embracing that. And suddenly, like, these are, sometimes friends of mine, people I know,
Hypocrites.
that were having their verification checks swiped away, which is kind of more like, okay, well, that's not so much of a
Elon
thing.
abusing
Even if they
his
pay
power.
for it. Well, it's kind of like, if the CEO of McDonald's says, hey, you can't order this burger, you can only order these items, like, that's just kind of like what it is, but we're still serving you in a way. Elon can remove the verification check and stop paying you, the creator, whatever, to an extent, as long as that's in no violation of any contract or any payment service. But and my point, and I want to clarify, I'm not a free speech absolutist. I'm just really close to it. And my opinion is that platforms this large should no longer have the protections that shield them.
Same. I'm not a free speech. I am close to being a free speech absolutist. But the thing is like people like keep moving the line a little bit as to what you can say and stuff. I think when you're just expressing an opinion or saying something about yourself is one thing. When you're telling someone else what to do, like you should all go out and blah, 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 like that's different. That's inciting something. When you are suggesting that someone does something, you're inciting something. So I'm almost an absolutist, but not quite. What are you? Tell me. But tell me in the comments right after you hit subscribe.
From having to treat these platforms of speech not as public squares.
You get where I'm coming from when I just say some of this behavior should be disincentivized in very slight ways, even if it's just a slap on the wrist, even if you're just content banning them or shadow banning them or whatever.
In their business interest, yes, but in the interest of people being able to see it per se, not really. I think the majority of people that see that content are like, okay, this is objectionable, and that's just where it stands.
But there's kids on there.
There are, well, that's the thing. There shouldn't be. There shouldn't
Yeah.
be. The platform should mandate 13 or older to be on there, and I think maybe that even gets raised. I don't know, whatever it may be. There definitely should not be kids on X or Instagram or probably even TikTok
Or Snapchat. Honestly, get them off.
Get them out of here.
So is it fair to say that Elon Musk is being kind of inconsistent with his moderation and does it for reasons that benefit himself? So here's the thing.
I don't want to equivocate Elon Musk zapping some people that said some
For self-serving
not great
reasons.
things about H-1B visas, and Kanye West saying he loves Hitler. It's not really on the same level whatsoever.
Elon Musk has shown this pattern of every time he gets in some personal squabble or beef. I'm pretty sure he shadow banned Grimes a few weeks back because Grimes was saying something. It was something like to that effect. It seems like he uses Twitter for his own self-serving reasons, and then I do see a lot of Nazi.
Dude, Twitter is like high school for Elon. That's what it feels like. Like if someone bullies him, he has to block them or shadow ban them or whatever. Like he's still a fucking loser. He's a loser out in the world. He's a loser in the virtual world. He's a fucking loser. And I hope that he goes his ass to Mars so he can be a loser on 2 planets.
Stuff on Twitter, and it's not because of what I look up. I swear to you guys, I just scroll through my Twitter feed and there's random video.
The algorithms know what you like and know what you dislike.
you guys know I'm being
To Adam's point, if you are going to continue to have someone who is so extreme as Kanye West be allowed to exercise their right to free speech, then that should extend to everyone.
I do agree with that.
I mean, my stance on this is what you guys have already said. It's simply just free speech. I condemn, obviously, Nazis and everything that comes with that, but it's like he has, because of the country we live in, he has the right to post that stuff as long as it's not inciting violence or targeting people, or I think it's defamation is another way that your First Amendment right can be revoked. But same thing, how Elon Musk kind of picks and choose. We've been seeing that on Instagram for years. I mean, I've had individuals that for posting something about pro-life, their complete profile was
My
banned.
Instagram
My
got
mom had her
deleted
Facebook
because
account
my
banned.
Instagram got deleted because of Aiden Ross. Me and him got in a beef, and he told all of his fans to mass report me, and they deleted my Instagram.
Mass reports are crazy.
Yeah,
and that
like-
shows you like those platforms. Even TikTok is almost insane. Like I know that they ban liberal creators quite a lot as well, even if they're just live streaming or just making videos. Like
Yeah.
they operate in such a way that it's almost like they only want you Americans watching dumb cat videos. But if you start talking about, okay, well, here's how we can make America great again, or here's how we can build back better, I don't know, whatever liberal slogan y'all have.
Middle ground, that's what we call it.
Whatever it might be. They're like, okay, well, that's gone. And I feel like that's not right.
Well, I think my point too is like, regardless of if it's Elon Musk, whoever it is, there's always going to be some type of favoring their beliefs.
And we
But
want-
that's
obviously
why
that's not
when
right.
it's a private
Yeah.
company like
yeah,
that, I
they
don't
can
want
do that.
them to
But I
have-
also don't know if there's any way to have.
Well,
Have
I think that there
There
should
is.
be. I do think that there is an issue with children on these apps, and
Yes.
children do
Well-
kind of complicate it because they, like, all of us have our own beliefs that I'm hoping are based in, our own thought and reason and personal experiences as mature adults. But kids don't have the luxury of
have
having
that.
those experiences,
Yeah.
and it does scare me that accounts like Kanye's can be seen by kids. So do you guys think that there's maybe a way to limit that speech at aimed at children? I guess how do we do it in a way that's protecting
they
kids'
just
rights?
ban-
Age restriction on these platforms for kids. There should be, because she's right. There's a lot of stuff like Andrew Tate. If a fucking 12-year-old who's going through puberty starts watching Andrew Tate, he's going to be easily indoctrinated with that dumbass thought. When I was in the 6th grade, I had a boy walk up behind me and whisper in my ear, "I'm going to rape you later." He and I ended up in a fucking fight of all fights at that moment. I turned around and went right at him. Okay, you started it, I finished it. But that's the crazy shit, is that this happened in the 90s, okay? Fast forward here 30 something years, and you have podcasts dedicated to teaching men how to be like that.
Innocence.
If you're under a certain age, you have to go through some kind of verification process.
Yeah, so-
Yeah.
Same thing, which it's a little, I know it's not everybody believes in it, but I believe the same thing with pornography. I mean, it's so easy for young kids to access, and even being on a platform like X, I'm sure you can find a whole bunch of stuff. I don't have X, but I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff kids can find.
Well,
that-
Kanye West himself was posting porn, and it's funny because I believe
he was. That was.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, oh my God, he went crazy.
It was, like,
I think it was
wild.
like 40 videos.
Yeah. Oh, I
that was
didn't know
that was the
that.
moment. It's gonna be strange to say, but that was the moment where I was finally like, okay, I can't even
Yeah.
read this anymore. Because
See, that kind of like changes things a little
That
bit.
does.
Chandler was
actually
sitting there
change
saving all the
rules.
videos, like, this is too far.
No,
This is way
no,
too far.
no. No, and back to the point on Twitter real quick, that Twitter should have a mechanism to restrict children being there. They already do. You can't make an account if you set your birthday under 13. But of course,
Yeah, but
you know, every
I
kid,
lied.
I used to always set my birthday as 1996. I was like, whatever it may be.
I'm still 12 years old.
Yeah, so it might be more of like, maybe we get to the point, and it's funny that you mentioned the Pornhub thing. Some states actually require that you submit your ID, and some people don't want to do that for Pornhub, but I think if we get to the point on Twitter or things of that nature, maybe we get to the point where these platforms require you.
That's an insane thing, to require an ID for porn. What the fuck? I mean, obviously they have their age restrictions and kids will lie about it, but I'm not giving you my ID. No way. People don't want their identity connected to the porn they watch, okay? I don't.
To submit a driver's license of some sort to identify yourself, but then that gets more into the realm of, well, then what happens to anonymity and how,
Yeah.
the privacy concerns. It's kind of like we have to play this game where, have you ever seen that meme where it's the guy and it's two buttons and you're sweating and you don't know which one to click, and you don't know, okay, privacy or protecting the children, which one do we pick? It's kind of like, what do we value
I would've
more?
said children, yeah.
I might actually have to disagree and say privacy, because here's the thing. Parents need to be involved in their children's lives. Parents need to be mandating what their children have access to. And if you're leaving your child with unfettered internet access, what are they going to find? Live leak? Nobody wants that to happen. That's what used to happen. It's not as big anymore, but these problems can still persist. But that's only if our parents aren't doing their jobs.
I do feel like parents of children in our generation and a little bit above and below have this unique disadvantage of not having grown up with this technology.
Yes.
Like, I think that we as parents are going
Gen
to be
Zers would be
much
better.
more protective
Yes.
and diligent of what our kids have access to on the internet. But you know, my parents didn't know what the fuck Snapchat was.
No, yeah.
So they were kind of,
They worked in the kick trenches.
yeah, they're at a disadvantage. They don't know how dangerous it can be. So I think just generally we all agree that free speech is important and that private companies should not have a role in who gets to speak and who doesn't on these public forums. But it is important that we have safety measures in place to protect children from seeing offensive and dangerous content.
So that's their tea on Kanye's tweets. I'm almost a free speech absolutist, as long as you're not suggesting someone what to do. Anyway, tell me what you think right after you hit subscribe. Okay, have a great day. I'm Ceci, and I said what I said.